Today's episode, we're going to look at Jaylor Fabricating out of East Garafraxa, Ontario. Bet you most of you don't know where that is, and most of you wouldn't know that they make TMX mixers for the world. All kinds of mixing so that we can take raw forages and add the grains to make finished diets for livestock, and selling it all around the world. Southeast Asia, Central Asia, South America. This factory here in the rural Ontario is selling to the world, and that's the key to this story.
I got a phone call from the States from a gentleman asking me if I could build a vertical feed mixer. And we said, well, yeah, sure, if it's made out of steel, it shouldn't be a problem. In some ways I control the prototyping, especially the troubleshooting out in the field. So when we have machines that don't work right or are not doing what the customer needs them to do, it's me that goes. Any help we get from the Canadian government or Ontario government, it's appreciated. It's needed, it's appreciated. It allows us to take some risks that you normally wouldn't take, that you can't afford to take. And with this here, it's you do a better job of what you do. I'm not an office jockey. Last year we hired a general manager. He's doing a better job than I ever could dream of, and I'm doing what I'm good at. I'm just a welder by trade.
We really went to the areas where the dairy industry is developing. We in Canada have really top technology in terms of the dairy industry and the beef industry. And when you go to those markets, what they say is, we want to have what you have. Tell us about it. We want to buy it. You have to know the cultural differences. You really need to understand the situation of their markets, of the dairy situation itself. You have to understand what their feed ingredients are that can support what we're trying to do in terms of making a feed. So there's a lot of background information that you need to have in order to create a success for yourself. As an example, the mini mixers, in order for us to sell them into Europe, have to have CE approval. So it was quite a challenge to find out what the rules are and what accommodations we had to do to make that work in those countries. One of the key things that's in the background that when you're operating in the international market is your competitors have other advantages. And a lot of that is financing, that they're financed by their country in order to support their export. We don't have that in Canada in the same venue that we find that we're competing. The rapid response allows us to provide some of the terms that we do because we're not spending the money on developing the market. And we've done a lot of partnering with other companies in trying to develop the market, because we're really talking about a dairy farm. Dairy farm has supplies in terms of nutrition, has things that it needs in terms of cow comfort, has things that it needs in terms of the building. Okay, so we all supply parts to that, and if you can go with a group of companies to a market with all those that give answers to the dairy farmer, to the problems that he's got, you're much better to be successful at it than if I just try and go with a mixer and try and sell a mixer into the market. Because we're a manufacturer, we're looking at dealers. Dealers would contact the end user. Okay, so we're looking at that level in the international market, because sometimes you're dealing with very large farms. As an example, we're dealing with one of the largest farms in Vietnam, and that's on a direct basis. Okay, because even the dealer that we have there wouldn't have the capacity to understand all the things that are required for them. But we do that as a partnership with our dealership. When we took a real serious look at the international market, we said shipping can be one of the biggest cost factors there is, besides currency, of course. And we made a model change to our mixers, and in that model change, we accommodated the fact that these need to be containerized, and now 9 of our 15 big mixers will fit inside a container. So our mixers basically come as plate steel. Okay? Then we take them and we do the computerized design, or computerized cutting, computerized bending, so that every mixer is exactly the same no matter which one we're making, and it fits the same and the quality is the same. And we only use componentry outside the company that someone else does better than we would do. we're looking at a lot of farms that are anywhere from 10 to 200 cows. And we consider that to be a relatively small farm. And we wanted to build a mini mixer that fit that category, but didn't have the cost restraints that you would find on a bigger mixer. Because a bigger mixer, what you need to have is you need to have the mixer and a tractor to operate it. With these mini mixers, we made them self-propelled and self-contained. So they'll operate by themselves without requiring a tractor, so it eliminates one of the big costs, yet it's very economical for a small farmer to buy. I can give you an example. A farmer up in the Chiang Mai area of Thailand, he had 25 cows, and he bought the mini mixer. And I says, well, what are you going to do with this mini mixer? He said, I want to go to 150 cows so that my son can come to the farm and have the technology that he can be a success. His son was a graduate from the School of Engineering in Chiang Mai, and that's his goal. And the mini mixer gives him the opportunity to make the milk production that will get him to that point. Yeah, one of the things that has always been a real plus for Jaylor is that because Jake is such a creative guy and he understands these machines so well, he's always inputting and improving the machine. We've got 35 patents on our mixers, and what that represents is research and development. And what we can go to the customer with is say, this is a quality product and it's got the best kind of technology that we can provide you already built in.
We want our customers to do well. First and foremost, if they do well, we will do well, and we want to do this in an honorable way.